In the files for this project, I have placed 4 pictures downloaded from Unsplash. And these file names are made up of the photographer's name here, so Kevin and Horseman, the name, backed up by a picture ID, in this case 141705. And that means when you drag these into Asset Catalog in your project, you'll see they have the name Kevin Horseman 141705. And that in itself isn't a problem because it helps you remember where assets came from, so you can find that ID later on. But it does present a problem for screen readers. To get started with VoiceOver, we're going to create a simple view that cycles randomly between the 4 pictures I've given you from Unsplash. And so I'd like to modify your content view to this. We'll say there's an array called pictures, which is an array of, we've got, I'll just copy and paste these a little bit because they're quite complex. Alice Krivech, I guess. And then we've got Galina N here. Then we've got Kevin Horseman here. And then Nicola Tissot, there. So 4 possible pictures we want to display on the screen. We'll then say at state private var selected picture is int.random in the range of 0 through 3, so our possible pictures. Then inside our body, we'll say make an image view from those pictures using selected picture, which is resizable and scale to fit, and has an on-tap gesture where when it's pressed, we'll do selected picture equals int.random in the range 0 through 3 again. So it randomizes every single time. Now, there's nothing special in there as it is, but it does help you illustrate the problem with VoiceOver. In fact, there are really 2 problems here. Now, if you're using a real device, which I can't because I'm recording, you want to enable VoiceOver now, which you can do in Siri. You can just say enable VoiceOver, or in this case, disable VoiceOver to get rid of it later on. To turn it on, that's fine, or go to Settings, Accessibility, VoiceOver, and toggle it there. There are instructions there, by the way, directly below the option to enable VoiceOver to guide you through how to use it if it's your first time doing it, because your taps and swipes don't work the way you expect. Anyway, go ahead and launch your app and then tap on one of the pictures to select it, this sort of frosty picture here, and listen carefully to what VoiceOver says. Perhaps pause the video and give it a try. You'll find it'll read the whole image name out. So it'll read out the image as Kevin Horseman 141705, which is not only unhelpful to the user because it doesn't describe the image at all, but it's actually confusing because it's just 141705 does more harm than good. But also, after reading the image out, VoiceOver will say image, because it's an image, which is true, it's an image. But it's also acting as a button because we've attached an on-tap gesture modifier. Now, the first of these problems, the 141705, is a side effect of SwiftUI trying to give us sensible behavior out of the box. When given an image, it will automatically use the image's file name, Nicolas Tissot. Actually, what's his full name? Sorry, he needs a number, doesn't he? There we go, sorry. There we go. It'll read the full name plus the number, but the whole thing is part of the file name, so it'll use that as a default description. Now we can control what VoiceOver reads for a given view by attaching one of 2 modifiers, often both at the same time. One's called accessibility label and one's called accessibility hint. And they both take some text strings with anything we want inside, but they serve different purposes. The label is read immediately and should be a short piece of text that gets straight to the point. So if this view deletes an item from the user's data, just say delete. The hint is read after a short delay. So a label first, then a short delay, then a hint. And that can provide more detail on what the view is there for. So it might say, deletes an email from your inbox, for example. Now the label is exactly what we need here to solve the first of our problems, because it means we can leave the image name as it is in our asset catalog with the identifier right there, while giving VoiceOver something to read out that's actually more helpful to users. So we'll say we'll add a whole list of labels for our pictures. we'll say let labels be the array of, and we've got tulips, frozen tree buds, then sunflowers, then fireworks. And they should match our pictures. There's tulips, frozen tree buds, that one, and fireworks. So it's all there matching up. Sunflowers, this one, sunflowers. Matching the exact ones we have right now. And now we can use that as a modifier for the label for our thing. So here we'll say accessibility label, there we go, is labels selected picture. And that will allow VoiceOver to read the correct label no matter what image is present. Now, of course, if your image wasn't randomly changing like ours is, you can just type right in here the correct string to read out, right in the modifier. The second problem is that this thing is recognized as an image, which is correct. It is self-evidently true this thing's an image, but it's also not helpful because we've attached an on-tap gesture here. So it's acting like a button. And fine, we could use a button instead, but here it's an image and we want to work with that. So we can fix this by adding another modifier, accessibility, add traits. And this lets us add some extra information behind the scenes to VoiceOver that will describe the way the view works. And in our case, we can tell it our image is also a button by saying .accessibility add traits .is button. So it's now a button. And if you ever wanted to, you can remove the image trait as well. You could say .accessibility remove traits .is image. So it's now no longer an image, it's only a button. And with those changes in place, our UI works much better. VoiceOver now reads a useful description of the image's contents, not the name of the image internally to us, but the contents. But it also makes users aware this thing is also a button.